everybody, my name is Tommy and welcome to Aero Workshop. Today I'm going to be building a little storage cabinet to go on the wall just behind my spindle moulder to keep all the spanners and spacers and bits and pieces for the machine within arm's reach. Now I am going to do this as a 2-video build, and in this, the first video, I'm going to concentrate on making the carcass for the unit and fitting a face frame to the unit. And in the next video, I will run through how to make doors and how to fit the doors into the frame of the unit. Okay, I'm going to be making this project out of pine, and as I have done in previous projects, I have marked it out on a scrap piece of wood. The height, the width, the overall size of the face frame. I even have the width of the doors are marked on this, and I have the position for the shelves. So using this, I was able to do up a cutting list and I can work off this through the build. So with that done, I'm ready to go to the saw and start cutting stuff to size. Okay, as you can see, I cut the two sides and the bottom at 8 inches wide, and I cut the top and the two shelves at 7¼ inches wide, and that's because I have ran a groove in both sides and the bottom to accept the plywood back for the unit. Now I have kept that in 3/4 inch to allow to be able to scribe the unit to the wall if the wall is anyway out of plumb. So you can do that without affecting the shelves or the back of the unit. So the next thing I want to do is go back to my marking stick and transfer the bottom, the two shelves and the top onto both sides. Okay, now with those marked, I'm going to go back to the table saw and I'm going to remove about 1/8 inch of material in those locations, kind of dados, just so the shelves and the bottom of the top will have a little bit more support when the unit is together. Okay, we are just about ready to start doing the assembly. Now there are a few different ways you could do this, but what I've decided to use is some pocket hole screws. So I'm going to put 2 in each joint, so let's bore those now. Okay, once we have those bored now, it's just a case of small bit of glue and assemble the cabinet. I'm also going to add a little lat to the top back of the unit, and I can use this later to fix the unit to the wall. So I'm just going to bit of glue and a few screws again. Okay, the next thing we need to do is make a face frame for the unit. Now this is pretty simple, it's just some 45mm by 20mm pine, and I'll be cutting 2 lengths the exact height of the unit, and I will be cutting 2 the width of the unit minus both uprights. And I'm going to be joining these again with some pocket hole screws. I now have both stiles and both rails for the face frame cut to length, and I have added pocket holes in both rails. There's just one more thing I want to do before I put the frame together, and that is just add a little bead detail on the back of the frame, just where it meets the unit, to act as a kind of a joint breaker, so that if there is any movement over time in the wood, that there won't be any noticeable difference along that joint. So I'm just going to run a small bead detail on the spindle moulder, and we'll do that now. Okay, now that I have that bead machined, you can see that it acts as a nice little joint breaker and detail to the side of the unit. So now we're going to put the frame together. Okay, when it comes to putting the frame together, it's a very simple process. What I like to do is get a piece of wood that extends past the bench to allow me to clamp easily. So just a small bit of glue, and just line them up, keeping them level on the end, and then simply just clamp it right on the joint to keep them level. like that, and then just drive the screws. And repeat that on all 4 corners. It's that simple. Next thing I want to do is just add some pocket holes to hold on the frame. So I'm just going to put 3 across the top, 3 across the bottom, and 2 then on either side on the inside of the unit. Okay, with those bored, the only thing left to do is just screw it in place. So I'm going to put a small bit of glue again on to the front edge of the unit. And then we'll be lining the frame up with the bottom shelf, keeping the frame flush with the top of the shelf. Like that. And screw it in place. And just work your way around the unit doing the very same thing. With the face frame in place, I am just going to temporarily slide in the plywood back. Now I'm not going to fix this in place until I have a finish applied to the unit, because it's simpler to put the finish on when you can actually get in from both sides. But you should get an idea now of what the unit is going to look like. So that's a face framed unit that's going to hold all my bits and pieces for my spindle moulder. I'm going to leave this video here, and like I said, the next video I will make the doors for this unit and we'll apply a finish and possibly stick it up on the wall as well. So if you enjoyed this video, maybe you give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already done so, maybe you consider subscribing to the channel. So all that's left for me to say is thanks for watching, and until next time, good luck.